This is KGW News at noon.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Brenda Braxton. Within the last hour, Oregon Governor Kate Brown laid out new plans to ramp up COVID-19 testing and contact tracing. Governor Brown says that's the key to containing the virus and reopening the state. The governor's strategy includes three main points. First, testing should be available to any Oregonian showing symptoms. Second, testing must be available for at-risk populations, including seniors in nursing homes. And third, there needs to be widespread randomized testing. Governor Brown announced a new partnership with OHSU. Starting May 11th, 100,000 Oregonians will be randomly selected to voluntarily take part in COVID-19 testing.
This program is a game changer. It will give us a more accurate understanding of the true rate of infection in Oregon and to have ongoing precision monitoring of any new outbreaks.
Governor Brown also emphasized that reopening Oregon will not happen all at once, but for some rural counties, the process could start about 2 weeks from now.
In certain parts of the state, we see almost zero cases and few hospitalizations. It is my hope that some counties or regions could have the ability to begin the process of reopening as soon as May 15th.
KGW's Morgan Romero is following this story for us. We will have more coverage on the governor's press conference coming up in our evening shows. Starting today, Oregonians can once again get elective surgeries and medical procedures. Offices must have enough protective gear for their workers. Hospitals are also required to keep 20% of their beds open, just in case of a surge in the virus. Well, in a few hours, we're expecting to get more details on Washington's plan to reopen. Governor Jay Inslee will hold a press conference at 2:30. We'll carry it live on KGW.com and on our social media pages. Earlier this week, the governor said he would extend his stay-at-home order, which was set to expire on May 4th. Washington has already taken some steps to restart its economy. Construction workers are back on the job after the governor eased restrictions late last week. It took a few days for most contractors to get all the safety requirements in place. Now, you can see at this job site, the rules are just laid out at the front door. Subcontractors working on this custom home in Camas were wearing masks, gloves, and eye protection and doing their best to stay 6 feet apart.
We're working under some pretty strict modifications, but we think it's super important that we follow that to the T. We definitely don't want any kind of interruption in the workflow again.
The Building Industry Association of Washington estimates the month-long shutdown cost $690 million in lost wages for construction workers. At least 21 states have started to loosen social distancing restrictions, reopening malls and big box stores. But some governors are saying it's just too soon. Tracy Potts has an update on that, plus the Trump administration's plan to get a vaccine to the public by January.
The race is on. Operation Warp Speed, a federal-private partnership to develop 300 million doses of coronavirus vaccine in the next 8 months.
Whatever the maximum is, whatever you can humanly do, we're going to have. You know who's in charge of it? Honestly, I am. I'll tell you, I'm really in charge of it.
One of the world's top drug makers is already scaling up production with research still underway.
Our goal is to have a vaccine that can be available to the public on an emergency use basis by the end of the year.
The hunt for a miracle drug comes as more stay-home orders expire today in states where COVID-19 cases are still rising. Michigan's governor facing protests and a possible lawsuit for trying to keep people at home. This Texas mayor refusing to visit malls and restaurants, reopening this week.
No, and my family won't be there either. And everybody's got to make their own choices.
This Pennsylvania hairstylist chose to reopen no matter what the governor says.
I have employees that are like, I'm not going to be able to eat if it's 4 or 5 weeks. So I had to make the decision.
New York shutting down subways overnight for cleaning and worried about paying public employees.
The state has a $13 billion deficit. They provided us nothing. Nothing for police, nothing for firefighters.
One report predicts states could see a $200 billion shortfall in the next year. Tracy Potts, NBC News.
So is getting the vaccine in 8 months realistic? Yesterday, Kristen Severance put that question to Dr. Lippy Roy, an NBC News medical contributor.
We're all eager for a vaccine against this virus, this virulent pathogen. But, you know, and while it's always promising to have funding, increased funding towards any type of scientific process, clinical trials included, and hopefully that'll get more people on the project, more manpower, more researchers and scientists, more supplies. That's great on one hand, but the truth is there are certain parts of the vaccine discovery process that simply can't be rushed, like the clinical trials, testing them in actual human beings for both safety, which is phase 1, and then efficacy, which is phase 2, and then phase 3 is testing in a much larger population. So there are certain things that it just takes time in order to do it right. So we're talking at least 1 to 2 years, really.
We have flipped the calendar. Today is May 1st. And May Day, of course, is known for widespread protests. Workers at Amazon, Whole Foods, Walmart, Target, and other businesses are rallying today. They say those companies aren't providing a safe workplace and they're asking customers to boycott them. Tomorrow, protesters plan to gather in Salem, demanding the governor end the stay-at-home order and reopen Oregon. The rally is set to happen on the steps of the Capitol starting at noon. The group leading the charge in Salem is called Oregon Uniting for Liberty. We've seen similar rallies all across the country. This is video from a demonstration in Olympia a few weeks ago. More than 700 people on Facebook say they plan to show up in Salem tomorrow, and 2,000 more are listed as interested. Talking politics, for the first time, Joe Biden, the apparent Democratic presidential nominee, is responding publicly to a sexual assault allegation against him. Tara Reid claims that Biden assaulted her when she worked for him back in 1993. During an interview on MSNBC, Biden repeatedly denied her allegations.
No, it is not true. I'm saying unequivocally, it never happened.
Do you remember her? Do you remember any types of complaints that she might have made?
I don't remember any type of complaint she may have made. It was 27 years ago.
Biden wants the National Archives to search its records to see if there's any complaint on file because he says he has no record of one. NBC News contacted 5 people Reid said could back up her story. According to NBC, 3 of them said they didn't remember her telling them anything back then. Well, there's a big change for the Rose City. South Portland is now an official district. The change has been in the works for several years, but the designation became official just today. It's meant to eliminate a confusing numbering system that made it difficult for emergency responders and delivery drivers. South Portland runs along the Willamette River from about the Ross Island Bridge to the Selwood Bridge and Barber Boulevard to the west. The change impacts about 6,000 addresses.